Blue, the lighter shade, translucent, the presence of veins, but they aren't carrying blood. The white lines tinted blue that map the body, the traces of organs that once functioned, once mattered, but now have been covered in ice, the ice that never melts. She stands there, on top of the ice, still. She blends in with the surroundings, blue also. Blue ground, blue body, blue sky. They work in shades, increasing in depth and darkness as you work your way up from the ground. Her arm is outstretched. She looks upon it without interest. It is shining in the sparkle of the sun, catching every spot of ice and refracting light from it. The ground is full of stars. It is too much like a painting, a still life rendered from the imaginings of an unknown artist about to become famous. She looks every bit human but for her color, and nothing about her makes sense. Her hair is both rigid and smooth, crafted from the same ice that the rest of her body is, and yet you can still separate it into strands. Her eyes are purple, the one of only a few notes of color other than blue, but still crafted of it, blue and red, the elusive color that once signified blood. There is blood no longer. There is only water flowing unfrozen through the veins of the ice people, impossibly able to resist their cold bodies and remain liquefied. Her palms glow, as though there are miniature suns contained within, glowing that same yellow and orange as in the sky. Flaming tendrils reach out towards her fingers. Seraphine, her name, carved out of the ice long before it consumed the world, when it was still endangered, running off glaciers every year, less and less. No one anticipated this turn of events that brought ice back to claim the earth. The sound of footsteps approaching, faint, gliding across the ice, ice on ice, the slippery medium that provides no traction but is not needed any longer, and so it does not matter. But it is much a sound of unexpected crackling, completely recognizable and not at all muffled. "Hey, Sapphire!" A man, tall, towering, glowing. He has the most curious orange eyes that match his palms perfectly. It is uncharacteristic of their kind. Most have gray eyes, and although Seraphine's are purple, no one has ever commented on the strangeness of hers, only the strangeness of this man's, Ember. The ice people conspire about where Ember came from. When he tells his story, he says all he remembers was a black encasing, a forever cage that one day broke down into dust, and there he was with eyes orange from prolonged exposure to the sun. Seraphine thinks that perhaps he is a grand liar, or an old relic that took longer to transition to ice than the rest of her people. The pet name sends shivers down her spine. It doesn't seem as though shivers should exist in her body, but they do, like a pesky insect scrawling up her spine. She tries to remember insects and realizes that she cannot because she has never known them. How then does she know the name, know the idea, know the world before ice? Ember, I must have told you 1,000 times now, it's Seraphine. Sarah, if you absolutely must, but not Sapphire. Why so glum, Sapphire? He is taunting her. She knows this, but cannot resist, and feels the warmth rise in her palms. It is the sensation that she savors the most. The rise of heat, magical, the mechanical and biological workings of it unknown to all, but there, present in every single one of them. The heat that bubbles from within their hands, hers glowing brighter now. The tendrils gain length, reaching, beckoning forward towards Ember. "Is that the best you've got, Gem?" Seraphine goads. The orbs begin to grow beyond the confines of her hands. They break through the tender sheet of ice skin and swell with her rage, pulsate out towards Ember. He lets his grow as well, slender and pliable like whips. They play with this destructive fire, fight against one another, and watch where they hit each other turn to liquid for just a moment before it turns solid again. They drip and reform. Their crystals gain new facets. The fire whip smacks against their skin with crackles lit like coal. They stand 10 meters apart, orchestrating their arms, the fire extending from their movements. It is much like a forgotten style of martial arts. Others gather to watch. Soon there is a circle, there is a chant echoing above the display. And may the world never melt.